From the chart-topping hits to prison bars, what really happened that night to bring Tory Lanez's career crashing down? We're diving into the details of the shooting scandal that turned a superstar into an inmate. Trust me, this story is wild and you won't believe how it all went down. Born July 27th in 1992 in Brampton, Ontario, Tory Lanez, or Daystar Peterson, if you're feeling formal, had a pretty rough start. Losing his mom at just age 11 was a huge blow, and he ended up being raised by his grandmother. But instead of letting it keep him down, Lanez channeled his struggles into his music. By 16, he was already deep into the rap game, laying the groundwork for his future stardom. Tory Lanez's career got a big boost when Jamaican-American singer Sean Kingston noticed him. This was a key moment. Tory Lanez is known for mixing hip-hop and R&B into his music, often blending both styles in the same song. When he performs, you'll hear him rapping and singing, frequently with a touch of auto-tune. In an interview with Ian Stonebrook on Nice Kicks, Lanez talked about his unique style, which he calls swavy. For him, swavy isn't just a cool word, it's like its own genre of music, as Lanez was starting to make his waves with his unique style and lyrical skills. Kingston saw Lanez's potential and became one of the early supporters, helping him get noticed in the music world. In August 2013, Tory Lanez dropped his breakthrough mixtape, Conflicts of My Soul, the 416 story. This mixtape wasn't just an intro to his music, it was like Lanez saying, "Hey, this is who I am." It showed off his unique style, blending rap, R&B, and storytelling, which caught the attention of fans and industry folks. The mixtape's success really set the stage for the next big step. By 2015, Lanez had already signed with Benny Blanco's Mad Love Records under Interscope Records. This was a big deal for his career, giving him a bigger platform and more resources to reach a wider audience. In 2016, Lanez released his debut studio album, I Told You, which was a major turning point. The album featured hit singles like Say It and Love, both making waves on the Billboard Hot 100. Say It became a fan favorite with its catchy hook and smooth vibe, while Love showed off Lanez's knack for creating catchy melodies. The success of these singles not only solidified Lanez's place in the music industry, but also highlighted his versatility as an artist who could blend different genres and styles. Lanez continued to build his career with subsequent albums. Memories Don't Die in 2018 reached the top of the Canadian albums chart, demonstrating his growing influence. Later that year, Lanez released Love Me Now, which included the double platinum single Talk to Me featuring Rich the Kid, further cementing his reputation as a versatile artist. In 2019, Lanez released Chicks Tape 5, a nostalgic project that paid homage to the early 2000s R&B era. The album featured a host of guest artists, including T-Pain, Chris Brown, and Ludacris, showcasing Lanez's ability to blend contemporary hip-hop with nostalgic sounds. In 2021, he continued to push creative boundaries with Alone at the Prom, an album that explored retro sounds and aesthetics, highlighting his versatility and commitment to artistic evolution. But here's the scoop with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, because they were the talk of the town for a while. Their whole vibe had everybody buzzing. The drama really started to heat up in 2020, right in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic. Megan Pete, who we all know as Megan Thee Stallion, made a surprise appearance on Tory Lanez's Instagram live show, Quarantine Radio. And I know you remember that, because it wasn't just any show. It was known for its wild twerking contests and had huge guests like Drake and Chris Brown dropping in. But when Megan showed up, she wasn't just a viral guest. She was right there with Lanez, and that's when the rumor mill really kicked into high gear, with everybody speculating if there was something going on between them. But then things took a serious turn one night that changed everything. On July 12, 2020, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and Megan's close friend Kelsey Harris went to a fancy pool party at Kylie Jenner's Hollywood Hills mansion. And the night was supposed to be a fun, carefree outing. Megan even live streamed from the party, looking a little tipsy and rocking a tiny bikini next to Kylie. What was meant to be a laid-back evening took a dark turn and set the stage for a tragic series of events. As the night wore on, what started as a fun evening began to sour. Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, and Kelsey Harris decided to leave Kylie's party at around 4:30 a.m. They hopped into Lanez's SUV with Tory Lanez's driver behind the wheel. The ride quickly turned tense though. It all came to a head when Megan found out that Lanez had been romantically involved with both her and Kelsey. This revelation was like a bombshell. Megan and Kelsey had been close friends Since their college days, they had a solid bond, having shared a lot of experiences, including attending high-profile events like the Rock Nation brunch together earlier that year in January of 2020. At the event, they had mingled with big names, including Lanez, so learning about Lanez's involvement with both of them was a major betrayal for Megan. This betrayal felt even more personal given their shared history and the tight-knit nature of their friendship. Inside the SUV, the atmosphere quickly became charged. Tory Lanez allegedly accused Megan of deceiving Kelsey about their friendship, a claim that only heightened the tension. According to Kelsey, the situation turned ugly fast. Lanez, in the heat of the moment, allegedly threatened to shoot, which escalated the argument from just a verbal altercation to a potentially dangerous confrontation. Megan, sensing the situation was spiraling out of control, decided to get out of the SUV to de-escalate the situation. But as she attempted to leave, things took a horrifying turn. Lanez reportedly began firing shots at her feet, shouting, "Dance," from inside the car. The scene was chaotic and terrifying. Witnesses, including Kelsey, later testified that they heard multiple gunshots and saw Lanez leaning out of the vehicle, firing at Megan as she tried to walk away. The shooting left Megan injured and scrambling for safety. It wasn't just shocking, but it was deeply traumatic, adding a new layer of distress to the already intense situation. Megan was later found with blood pouring out of her feet. After all that went down, Megan first told the cops she had just stepped on glass, but later she admitted that that wasn't the whole truth. She was scared to speak out because with everything going on after the George Floyd situation, she didn't trust the police. Plus, the media went crazy and people started questioning her story. Some folks even accused her of lying to cover up for Tory, but the medical facts spoke for themselves. Doctors found bullet fragments in her feet, proving she had indeed been shot. And the legal drama that followed was wild. Tory Lanez got hit with charges of assault and having a gun, and the trial turned into a full-blown media circus. Megan was in the spotlight too, but not just because of the shooting. People were all up in her personal life, throwing accusations and rumors her way. She had to fight back against all the gossip while still dealing with the physical and emotional fallout from what happened. The whole shooting incident was pieced together from witness statements and police reports, and as more details came out, things got even messier. There were these weird details like both Tory and Kelsey having gunpowder residue on them, but no DNA from Tory was on the gun. This led to all sorts of speculation and conspiracy theories about what really happened that night, showing just how messy and troubling the situation was. Megan's injuries were confirmed by medical reports, which showed bullet fragments in her feet, backing up her story that she had indeed been shot. That night, Lanez was arrested for having a concealed weapon, but the full story only started to unravel over the next few months, as more details about Megan's account and Lanez's actions came to light. Kelsey Harris, who was there that night, initially told investigators she saw Tory shoot Megan in 2020. But when she testified in December 2022, she said that she didn't actually see Lanez pull the trigger or hear him say, "Dance." Harris had immunity for her testimony and denied being the shooter. Reports showed both Harris and Lanez had gunshot residue on their hands. She also took back her claim that Lanez threatened to shoot her. But prosecutors played a recording from September 2022 where Harris said that she saw the Canadian rapper shoot Megan. During her December 2022 testimony, Harris said her earlier statement wasn't entirely true and that she couldn't remember everything she said before. She did admit Lanez offered her $1 million, but she denied it was a bribe. During the trial for the shooting, Tory Lanez was reportedly offered a 4-year plea deal, but he turned it down, insisting he was innocent. Despite Tory's claims of innocence and attempts to clear his name, his reputation took a huge hit and his public image was destroyed. Once again, no one wants to be connected to the guy who allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion, so Spotify and Apple Music took him off their playlists and put his career to a halt. Unfortunately for him, things didn't go his way. The jury in California handed down a guilty verdict, so on December 23, 2022, he was found guilty on all charges and ended up getting a 10-year sentence. He now faces up to 10 years in prison and might even be deported back to Canada once his sentence is over. The whole story with Tory and Megan started out with a lot of buzz during Lanez's quarantine radio, but it took a shocking turn after a party, leading to a heated argument in Lanez's SUV. The fight escalated and Megan ended up injured. Even though she first said she stepped on glass, medical evidence later showed she had indeed been shot, causing a media frenzy and a lot of public scrutiny. This whole mess pretty much wrecked Tory Lanez' career and turned into a major lesson about toxic relationships and holding people accountable. Despite everything Megan went through, she's still on top though. She's using her platform to speak out against gun violence and stand up for other women who've been through similar struggles. So what do you think this means for both of their careers? Yeah, Megan is still on top, she's still doing her thing, but do you think Tory Lanez can recover once he gets out of jail? And do you think he'll be deported? Or a better question, how do you think the music industry should deal with situations like this, and what kind of support systems should be in place? Join the conversation and keep up with the latest in music and entertainment by subscribing for more updates. Thanks for rocking with us here at HiphopaRazzi.